Ever wondered how 7 young men from a tiny, nearly bankrupt agency in Seoul didn't just break the music industry, they literally rewrote the global economic playbook? Welcome to the ultimate deep dive into a financial empire like no other. We're talking about a group that doesn't just sell albums, they influence the GDP of an entire nation. By 2026, the landscape of wealth in music has been completely transformed, leaving us to ask, is it just talent, or is there a sophisticated multi-billion-dollar blueprint behind their dominance? How did they manage to stay at the absolute peak of the tax bracket even while serving in the military? What secret investments and psychological branding strategies turned a boy band into a recession-proof conglomerate? Get ready, because we're peeling back the curtain on the private jets, the strategic stock options, and the sheer cultural power that makes their bank accounts look like phone numbers. Can any other artist even hope to catch up, or has the BTS effect created a gap that will last forever? Let's count down the 7 staggering reasons why BTS is officially the richest group in history. Are you ready to see the receipts? Number 7. Jungkook, the sold-out king's Midas touch. When we talk about the youngest member, Jungkook, we aren't just talking about a world-class vocalist. We are talking about a human economic stimulus package whose sheer existence creates market fluctuations. By 2026, the Jungkook effect has evolved from accidentally sold-out fabric softeners into a sophisticated machine of global brand dominance. Think back to how it started. A simple mention of a drink or a shirt would lead to immediate stock shortages worldwide. But as we stand in 2026, this isn't just a fun fan fact anymore. It's a verified business strategy that has funneled billions into the BTS treasury. Jungkook's solo era, particularly the record-breaking success of Golden, didn't just prove he could dominate the Billboard charts, it proved he could sustain a luxury lifestyle brand on his own terms. His partnership with Calvin Klein wasn't just a photo shoot, it was a masterclass in high-fashion ROI, return on investment, driving the brand's digital engagement and sales to heights they hadn't seen in decades. Imagine the sheer scale of wealth generated when every single item you touch, wear, or even look at becomes a must-have for tens of millions of people across every continent. We have to reflect on the emotional weight of this power. Jungkook grew up in the spotlight, and his transition from a shy teenager to a global financial powerhouse is nothing short of a modern-day fairy tale with a very real, very heavy golden crown. His wealth isn't just in his bank account, it's in his unprecedented conversion rate. In the business world, conversion is everything, and Jungkook has the highest in the industry. Whether it's his massive streaming royalties from 7, which stayed on global charts for years, or his equity in Hybe, Jungkook represents the retail power of BTS. Every time a fan buys something because of him, they aren't just buying a product, they are participating in a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem that he anchors. This isn't just about being a pop star, it's about being a living, breathing economy. By 2026, his portfolio includes high-end real estate in Seoul's most exclusive districts and a stake in the very infrastructure of the entertainment world. How does it feel to know that your mere presence can change the stock price of a corporation? It's a level of influence that most CEOs can only dream of. Jungkook's contribution to the group's total wealth is a mix of raw star power and a relentless work ethic that ensures his brand never depreciates. As we look at the numbers, it becomes clear, Jungkook is the catalyst. He is the reason why BTS's secondary income merchandise, endorsements, and brand collaborations often rivals the actual music revenue of other A-list artists. He is the sold-out king, and his Midas touch is a primary pillar of why BTS sits on a mountain of gold that continues to grow even when they are off the stage. The detail lies in the data. Every click, every purchase, every viral moment translates into a decimal point in a net worth that has redefined what we thought a boy band could earn. It's breathtaking, it's record-breaking, and it's only the beginning of our list. Number 6. V, the visual architect of luxury influence. When we talk about Kim Tae-young, better known as V, we are not just talking about a face that has been repeatedly named the most handsome man in the world, but about an aesthetic entity that has become the most valuable commodity in the global luxury market until 2026. V is the reason why BTS is not only considered musicians, but also untouchable upper-class lifestyle icons. Imagine the emotional transition from a farmer's son in Daegu who dreamed of becoming a saxophonist to now being the face of legendary fashion houses such as Celine and Cartier. This is not just an ordinary endorsement contract. It is a financial symbiosis where V's presence can change a brand's perception to be younger, more desirable, and of course, much more expensive. In 2026, we see how the V factor works with surgical precision in the fashion economy. Every time V uploads a photo on Instagram, the median media impact value, or earned media value, EMV, is estimated to reach millions of dollars in a matter of hours, a figure that makes marketing experts shake their heads in disbelief. V's wealth stems from his highly selective strategy. He doesn't take every offer, only the most prestigious ones, which automatically increases the bargaining power of the entire group. We must look deeper into the fact that V is an art collector and jazz enthusiast who brings an aura of sophistication to the BTS brand. This attracts high-end investors and luxury collectors to view the group as a long-term business partner. Financially, royalties from his solo debut Layover provide an extraordinary passive income stream due to his timeless musical style, which continues to be played in exclusive lounges and coffee shop playlists around the world, creating a stable and continuous flow of wealth. The emotional reflection here is very strong. V uses his melancholic yet luxurious charm to bridge the gap between K-pop pop culture and Western elitism. He is living proof that visual appeal, when managed with sharp business acumen, can generate unlimited dividends. V's wealth isn't just about numbers in a bank account, but about owning intellectual property and an image that will never fade with trends. By 2026, the value of his shares in HYBE had doubled, making him one of the youngest and most influential individual shareholders in the Korean entertainment industry. His presence at global fashion events is no longer as a guest, but as an economic magnet, ensuring every camera shot translates into financial gain for the BTS empire. This is why BTS sits at the pinnacle of wealth, because they have members like V who can dominate the high-end market with a single glance, leaving the world wondering, what other assets will he conquer next? Number 5. Jimin, the global Dior darling and royalty magnet. Step into the world of Park Jimin, a man whose grace and fluid artistry have translated into a financial windfall that most corporate executives could only imagine in their wildest dreams. By 2026, Jimin isn't just a performer, he is a global luxury benchmark, a human bridge between the prestigious heritage of Parisian high fashion and the modern explosive energy of global pop culture. Think about the sheer gravity of his influence when Tiffany & Co. and Dior signed him. They weren't just looking for a model, they were securing a golden ticket to the hearts and wallets of a generation that values authenticity and elegance above all else. The financial narrative of Jimin is one of unprecedented brand loyalty. When Jimin wears a specific ring or a necklace, the global servers of these multi-billion-dollar corporations often crash under the weight of sheer demand, leading to a Jimin effect that is studied in business schools as a prime example of consumer behavior manipulation through emotional connection. His solo debut with Face and the smash hit Like Crazy didn't just break Spotify and Billboard records. It generated a massive stream of independent revenue that continues to refill his coffers every single second of the day in 2026. We are talking about astronomical streaming royalties combined with high-stakes performance fees that have positioned him as one of the wealthiest soloists to ever emerge from a group. But let's look at the atmosphere behind the scenes. The quiet, meticulous way Jimin selects his projects reflects a deep understanding of long-term asset appreciation. He doesn't just chase the quick paycheck, he builds legacies. His real estate portfolio in Busan and Seoul consists of trophy properties that have appreciated by double digits, contributing to a net worth that is as stable as it is massive. Emotionally, Jimin's journey is a masterclass in resilience, going from the rigorous training rooms of Busan to becoming a literal muse for the world's most powerful fashion moguls. This status grants him access to private investment circles and exclusive venture capital opportunities that are usually reserved for the global elite. Every time he breathes into a microphone or smiles for a high-fashion campaign, the BTS empire grows its territory in the luxury sector. In 2026, the data shows that Jimin's influence has a halo effect on the group's overall valuation. His individual prestige elevates the entire BTS brand to a level of luxury goods rather than just entertainment. This distinction is crucial. It means BTS doesn't have to compete with other groups. They compete with brands like Rolex and Hermes. The sheer volume of wealth generated by his solo tours, brand ambassadorships, and his strategic equity in HYBE ensures that Jimin is a cornerstone of the group's historic riches. He is the personification of prestige wealth, proving that when you capture the world's heart, the world's wealth follows. Can you even fathom the level of financial security that comes from being the face of the world's most iconic jewelry and fashion houses simultaneously? It's a level of rich that transcends money. It's about becoming a permanent fixture in the history of global commerce. Number 4. RM. The intellectual architect of artistic wealth. Enter the mind of Kim Namjoon, the leader who has transformed the role of an idol into that of a high-level intellectual mogul. By 2026, RM's wealth isn't just measured by his liquid assets, but by a world-class art collection that has made him one of the most influential private collectors under the age of 40. We are talking about quiet luxury, personified a financial strategy that prioritizes long-term appreciation over flashy consumption. Think about the facts. RM has over 200 songwriting credits registered under Comca, ensuring a massive, steady stream of royalty checks that will continue to hit his account for the rest of his life. But the real on-the-spot mystery lies in his RM effect on the global art market. When he visits a museum or posts a piece of art, attendance skyrockets, and the value of that artist's work can double overnight. By 2026, his partnership with Bottega Veneta has set a new standard for luxury collaborations, focusing on craftsmanship and timelessness rather than fleeting trends. His solo albums, Indigo and Right Place, Wrong Person, didn't just top the charts, they were critical masterpieces that cemented his status as a brand of the mind, attracting high-net-worth investors and intellectual circles. RM's investment strategy is brilliant. He has moved a significant portion of his wealth into physical assets like museum-grade paintings by masters like Yoon Hyung-koon and sculptures by Roni Horn, creating a portfolio that is resistant to market crashes. There is an emotional weight to this. RM isn't just rich, he is building a cultural legacy. In 2026, he even co-curated exhibitions at world-renowned institutions like SF MoMA, proving that his influence is now institutional. His shares in HYBE have also seen a meteoric rise, especially with the 2026 comeback hype, positioning him as a major player in the boardroom as much as the recording studio. Imagine the atmosphere of his private residence, a sanctuary filled with millions of dollars worth of art that watches over him, motivating him to be a better man and a smarter businessman. This is the intellectual wealth of BTS, the reason why their brand has a depth that no other group can replicate. RM proves that the smartest person in the room is often the one who knows how to turn art into an asset and influence into an empire. How does a boy from Ilsan grow up to dictate the tastes of the global elite? It's a story of vision, patience, and a calculated approach to wealth that makes his net worth one of the most stable and respected in the entire industry. Number 3. J-Hope, the sunshine mogul and early solo pioneer. Who would have thought that behind the bright smiles of the Sunshine Group lies a highly calculating and visionary business mind? Entering 2026, Jungkook, or J-Hope, has cemented his position as one of the strongest financial pillars in BTS, with a net worth that often ranks at the top among his peers. Why? Because J-Hope is a pioneer. He was the first member to launch a large-scale solo project with Jack in the Box, a risky move that actually opened the floodgates to massive independent income even before the group's hiatus began. In 2026, we see the fruits of that courage, royalties flowing steadily from his iconic solo album, Ued, End of Libercade, End of Libercent. Coupled with the extraordinary success of the documentary J-Hope in the Box and the Hope on the Street project, which exploded on global streaming platforms. However, the detail that truly makes your jaw drop is his portfolio strategy outside of music. J-Hope is known as the property king among the members. His ownership of several luxury apartments in Seoul's exclusive Trimage complex has seen fantastic appreciation in value, making it a multi-million-dollar asset that continues to grow. Not to mention his status as house ambassador for Louis Vuitton, this isn't just about wearing expensive clothes, it's a strategic contract that puts Hobie at the center of the global fashion industry, generating 8-figure endorsement income every year. J-Hope's aura of wealth is a mix of tireless hard work and smart investment choices. Imagine this. Even while he was serving his mandatory military service, the economic system he built continued to operate 24/7. His songs were played worldwide, his merchandise collections sold out in seconds, and the HYBE shares he owned kept generating hefty dividends. His emotional journey is profound, from a street dancer in Gwangju with only dreams. He is now a young conglomerate who donates billions of won to charity every year without hesitation. By 2026, J-Hope has transformed into a symbol of the self-made billionaire in the world of K-pop, proving that dedication to art combined with financial intelligence can create an unshakable empire. Every dance move he makes is now literally worth its weight in gold, and every laugh he shares is an invaluable asset to the BTS brand. He isn't just the richest member by luck, but because he was the first to dare to step out of his comfort zone and forge his own path to the top of the entertainment industry's economic food chain. Can you imagine how vast the business empire he controls behind the scenes truly is? Number 2. Suga, the silent architect of production empire. Behind Min, Yoongi's calm demeanor lies a money-making machine that works harder than anyone else in the industry. By 2026, Suga is not just a rapper, he is the producer of the era, whose wealth flows from the most stable source in the music business, copyrights and production royalties. Let's take a closer look at the facts. Suga has more than 160 songs registered under his name at Comca. Imagine, every second, on thousands of radio stations, streaming platforms, and clubs around the world, his songs are played, and every second, his bank balance increases without him having to lift a finger. Suga's wealth is generational wealth built on an intellectual foundation. The success of his solo tour, D-Day as Aegis D, made history as the highest-grossing tour for a Korean solo artist, raking in over $57 million from just 28 shows. This figure does not include box office sales from his globally successful documentary film about the tour, which even reached the North American market. However, Suga's financial strategy is far more sophisticated than just concerts. He is the face of the Maison Valentino Essentials campaign and a global ambassador for the NBA, a highly strategic branding move to dominate the high-end men's market and sports fans worldwide. By 2026, the value of his property investment in UN Village, Hanam-dong, one of the most expensive areas in South Korea, has skyrocketed many times over, in addition to his ownership of a professionally managed commercial building. His emotional journey is truly remarkable. From a teenager in Daegu who had to choose between buying food or a bus ticket, Suga is now a tycoon who has built a medical care center for children with autism through his personal donations amounting to billions of won. Suga's wealth feels very authoritative because he does not flaunt it with excessive luxury, but rather with real influence behind the scenes of the industry. He has a significant stake in HYBE, which is predicted to reach new heights in 2026 as the group returns to full activity. In the business world, Suga is a silent killer. He doesn't talk much, but every production decision he makes, from collaborating with international artists like Halsey to producing hit songs for Samsung, is a strategic move that ensures BTS remains the richest entity in history. Have you ever imagined the power of a man who can create hit songs while sitting in his studio chair, while millions of dollars flow into his account as he sleeps? This is why Suga is in second place, because he has his own money-making machine inside his head. Number 1. Jin, the global standard of visual equity and business mastery. This is the pinnacle of it all, the worldwide handsome who proves that timeless visual beauty is the most stable financial asset in the world. Entering 2026, Kim Seokjin is not just the oldest member of BTS, he is the personification of visual equity that has transformed into a highly diversified business empire. Why is he number 1? Because Jin was the first member to complete his national service and immediately hit the ground running to restore and multiply BTS's market value, while the other members were still serving. Imagine the emotional pressure of being a pioneer who shoulders the group's reputation alone, yet Jin does so with the grace of a nobleman. In 2026, Jin's wealth exploded thanks to the success of his solo album Echo and his world tour Run Seo Jin, which broke the record for fastest-selling tickets for a male soloist. However, the real detail that captivated investors was Jin's intelligence in choosing strategic partnerships. He is the global face of fashion giant Gucci and luxury jewelry brand Fred, where every campaign he stars in reportedly generates a 400% surge in sales in the Asian and European markets. In fact, Jin doesn't just rely on his looks, he is a true businessman. The Japanese restaurant Asu Saramushi that he built with his brother has now grown into an elite franchise that is a must-visit destination for billionaires and celebrities around the world in Seoul. His real estate portfolio in Hanam the Hill, one of the most expensive residences in South Korea, is now worth an astronomical amount, complemented by his collection of luxury cars, including a Lamborghini Aventador S and a Porsche Panamera GTS, whose value continues to appreciate as collector's items. His emotional reflection is deeply touching. Jin uses his wealth to ensure his family and staff live in prosperity, often discreetly giving lavish gifts that reflect his generous character. By 2026, his stake in HYBE made him one of the wealthiest individuals in Korea, yet he remained known for his humility and iconic Jin-isms. Jin's aura of wealth is about stability, prestige, and long-term vision. He is the reason why BTS is considered the richest group in history, because they have an emotional leader who knows how to turn popularity into an enduring financial legacy. What's it like to be a man who not only has a face loved by the world, but also a mind capable of controlling the global flow of money with such calmness? Jin is the gold standard, the top of the list, and proof that in the right hands, talent and business can create an unparalleled legacy. There you have it, 7 reasons why BTS is officially the richest group in history until 2026.